In 3, 2.
Nope. Already live. Ha ha.
Ha, damn. I just thought it sounded nice.
Hey, everybody. It is so great that there are people watching because Jeff and Kym are both here, and I wanted you both to know that you don't even like sports.
No, that's a lie. Don't say that.
No, I said you don't even like sports.
No, I heard what you said. I'm just
Yeah.
saying don't say that. It's not right. And it's also quite wrong.
It's true.
But you know what is true? That it's you, Adam, that doesn't really like sports.
That is,
Kym!
I've heard that.
Did I do it?
Kym, why?
People
I
are
did
talking
it.
about
I did it.
I don't
There
know.
it is.
That's all I care about. The first time you guys did that, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Oh, it's a bit.
Oh, I thought you listened to our show. That's really interesting,
This
Kym.
hurts
Really
my
interesting.
heart. It hurts
I
my
listened
heart.
to all of your shows. Everything you guys put out. I thought I'd be
Yeah.
cold. I
Yeah,
can't
I listened
regulate
to
my temperature today.
Every podcast every friend of mine releases, I listen to. Don't you
Cool.
doubt
I
it
love
for
when
one.
somebody tries to share a podcast with me.
Yeah.
I just, at this point in time, I'm just like, nope.
Yeah, I'm like Drake and that meme.
Yeah. Hey, we got some fun people. Oh, I'm seeing some people that watched I Must Break You are in here, so they're getting double shots here. Love
Wait,
that.
where are you seeing this? Why? Oh, I see. Okay, I see it. Hello.
Comments. Hey.
Yeah, we are doing another episode of You Don't Even Like Sports live.
Ah, yeah.
And normally, for one thing, we should welcome Kym Kral back. It's been a couple weeks. She's been very irresponsible, not fulfilling her duties as one of the co-hosts of this podcast.
And
But-
instead,
I think I'm-
fulfilling her duty of paying rent.
And I think I might be on a plane next week, also fulfilling my duty to play rent. Duty. We all keep saying duty. I might be on a plane but I'm going to look and then let you know.
Wow.
Dude,
All right.
Duty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mix it up.
this show's over.
But that's you don't even like transcontinental flights.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I said, Lance.
So we got stuff to talk about. Normally, we would start with the obligatory tennis news, and don't you worry, we got some tennis news on deck.
By the way,
But-
real quick, when I read that note, sorry, I don't know if I'll remember later, but when I read your notes about tennis, never mind. As soon as I'm going to say it, it's going to sound really dumb. You're a very funny writer. I laughed really hard. And then I was like, oh, he's a comedy writer. You've been friends with him for years. Why would you just make this comment now? But I wanted you to know that one was particularly funny.
It's
Well,
well crafted notes for a crowd of two.
Yeah,
Well,
it's great. I love it.
I am very happy to hear you both say that, because the reason those notes look the way they do, I normally, when I post the show notes in the episode description, it's just a link with all of the links to the stories we talked about. But normally there's a version of the notes I send to the guests that looks like what Jeff and Kym are talking about, where I'll just like kind of describe my feelings on each story. And by the time the listeners see those notes, it's a completely different thing. So when I do end up with notes like these going forward, I'm going to put them on my Substack and the people can go read them. So these notes that Jeff and Kym are talking about, by the time this is up, I don't know, tomorrow, I'm not going to put them up right now, but by the end of the night, probably they will be on my Substack and you can go read them. I had some thoughts on Naomi Osaka.
It was very
Co-host
also
endorsed. Yeah.
David Sedaris-esque too. Like it was a very and that's a huge compliment because he's my favorite author of all time.
He's a good writer. He's a very good
Yeah,
writer.
it was very I was like, this reminds me of that fake suicide note that he wrote in one of his books.
Everything Adam writes is kind of a vaguely fake suicide note.
I realized as soon as I
excuse me.
said it.
An unaliving note. I didn't want to get
Unaliving.
you deplatformed.
I called my
Please.
boss yesterday. I was like, you're like a woman. It's so refreshing. He's a man. He's a very manly man. And he goes, what? And I was like, you just operate your business the way a woman would. And I was like, wait, hear me out. Because, women run things
Like super emotional.
way
Yeah.
better. Just way better.
Oh, that's what you're getting at.
Oh, the greatest trick the world has ever pulled is telling us that anger is not an emotion. Men are way more emotional than women because anger is an emotion. I've never punched a hole through a wall after losing anything.
Agree to disagree, and I'm very angry that you have brought this up.
Yeah, I'm going to punch a hole in my wall just because you felt the need to play some sort of battle of the sexes bullshit here. And I'm going to throw
definitely
a face at the wall.
I work with a guy who the other day, he goes, this is a person who I've never, it turns out he's never paid rent. He's never really, like, his parents take care of him, right? And he goes, I hope he's not listening. He goes, I kind of do too. He goes, you always bring up gender inequality. He's like, it's odd because, like, there's not really any gender inequality. Like, men and women suffer the exact same. It's the same. And I was like, okay. And he goes, it's weird. And then he was expecting me to argue with him. And I was like, you've shown me with that statement, you don't have the mental capacity to understand anything I'm about to say. So I'll just smile and go, I'm cool with you thinking I'm odd, sir. And then I went back to bartending.
Yeah, I've given up on arguing with people about anything. Like, I've got people in my DMs trying to get a rise out of me, telling me they're voting for Trump and shit. And it's like, do it. I don't care.
Great.
Don't
get a hobby.
Hey, speaking of that, the reason I wanted to get into not the obligatory tennis news first is let's get the not fun stuff out of the way.
Yes. Let's start strong. Let's start strong on the comedy live stream.
It's it's a sports show, though. It's not a comedy. Like, it's a sports show.
Absolutely a comedy show also.
It is a comedy show. What the fuck are you talking about? What show do you think you're on?
Sometimes seriousness comes into comedy, but I feel like every time it gets serious, Jeff gets mad.
No,
I don't want to get into the funny stuff and then valley in the middle and bring up this story and then, all right, back to the funny. Let's just get it out of the way. Hey, America. You're being America as fuck. There were one person was killed, 10 people injured after a shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory parade. They were expecting close to 1 million people to be there. I don't know how many people actually showed up, but at the end of the parade, there was a shooting and one person's dead, 10 people injured. We don't know much else beyond that yet.
America.
I think the article said 10 to 15.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that this is going to be the one that changes it all.
You think so? Yeah, probably.
Oh, the laws? No.
Yep. It's all going to change now. Everything's going to be different now. We did it.
I mean, if Taylor Swift was hit in that shooting, the laws would change tomorrow, probably.
Actually, yeah. No, did you see? But did you see how upset Fox News was about all the pollution that Taylor Swift, all the carbon, whatever her jets are putting out there? And someone tweeted, finally, Fox News cares about climate change. Like, Taylor Swift did it. She got Fox News to talk about climate change.
I think that was Zach Borenstein.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. Friend of yours? Or
man, Kym, real nice. Real nice.
Wow.
I know the struggles of men are so much worse.
Men can make jokes too, Kym.
So yeah, there's not much to say about it.
I have family there, and they all said they're home and safe. So that's
good.
Nice to hear.
Yeah, I hope one of those things. Is this like us just proving we're doing the show live? That we're holding up a newspaper with today's date, being like, see, we're addressing this horrible fucking thing that happened in sports related.
Did we have to prove it? Was there anyone out there that was like, no way those people are doing that live?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. That's all the people are saying that in the comments. I did mean it when I said that. And yes, we did need to prove it.
I mean, we did just do a live video that was actually not live. So
that is true.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. There's too many guns in this country.
Yeah.
Way too many guns. And man, if you're one of those, oh, well, we need them in case the government ever becomes tyrannical. They already did, and you didn't do shit about it. So now you don't get to have your guns anymore. Fuck it.
Yeah. Just in case we have a dictator. You had one.
Yeah,
you had one, and you didn't use much of those guns, did you?
Yeah, we spent the entirety of the
dictator.
Like we spent the entirety of the 60s assassinating people. No one fucking rose up then. Like, get rid of your guns. You're not using them. Get rid of them.
Also, if the government did like openly, like very obviously turn on us, there is nothing your like 4 guns in your garage can do against the United States government. Like,
unless
such
you
a
have
dumb opinion.
Yeah, unless you have like a SAM missile launcher, you're not taking out a drone.
Yeah,
like it's not happening.
Yeah, it's just such a dumb argument that I can't even engage with that argument anymore. You sound dumb.
The only arguments they have left are dumb arguments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just say you sound dumb, crack a book, and I walk away.
Man, we should they're like, I needed to hunt, like fucking bow hunt, motherfucker. Time to start bow hunting.
Hunt with a knife. And even then, like, there's a difference between hunting rifles and the kind
AR-15s.
Yeah, like an AR-15. That's a whole different thing. So, yeah, that's I don't care about that. I need it to hunt argument.
Yeah.
Also, I get it now. Someone in the comments said, or XXVI box says, given the Devin Hester jersey, I was pretty certain this was recorded in 2011. Well, that's because you don't even like sports and thus don't realize Devin Hester's in the news right now. So, but yeah, drag them. But yeah, it's a bummer.
Thoughts and prayers? Like,
I don't
even know what to say. Yeah. Be safe, everyone. I don't know. Vote, but that doesn't really do much either.
Hey, do yourselves a favor. Try not to have somebody have a gun near you.
Be safe.
Do that. Be safe. Go to a mall and ensure nobody will have a gun.
Correct.
Oh, wait. No, that's literally impossible. There's fucked.
Nothing. Yeah.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine having a child now. I can't even. My buddy has 2 kids and he's like, yeah, every time I drop them off at school, I literally am like, please let me pick them up tonight. Like, and he's like, it sounds grim, but he's like, every day there's some mass something. So.
Yeah, there was a point where when I had AMC A-list, given the way AMC theaters are situated, and because they seem to be like the target of choice for people who shoot up movies, I would always sit according to where I thought I'd have the best chance if a mass shooting jumped off. Like, where could I like hide and get a feel for where that motherfucker's going and maybe like get out?
Where did you land on that?
I would usually do one of the top row in one of the corners because they have this like wall up there. And I felt like I could like hide behind that for a bit. And if they were coming up my side of the steps, I could maybe get the drop off on them and play some hero ball. But if they were going up the other side, I could just like, get down and out of there. Maybe toss a kid in front of me, human shield stuff.
Yeah, there you go. If someone brought a baby, that's the perfect time. You were never supposed to bring that baby to the theater. So,
or Jeff would probably be there with me. So
most likely.
He's pretty big. It's easy just to push him over, I think.
Kym, when we saw episode 7 together, do you remember the guy that left his backpack and then like disappeared for like 15 minutes?
No, I cried through that entire thing. I was meaning to see it alone and we happened to be at the theater together. So I sat with you.
Okay. Well, first off, it was before the movie.
No, I don't. I was.
Sure. And I didn't want to tell you, but like, yeah, a guy dropped a bag off and left and he like didn't come back. And I was like, was that a bomb?
Was it a bomb? Did you come?
No,
did you tell someone?
I found him having diarrhea in the bathroom. Because I did go look. Because I was like, look, I'm not just gonna fucking sit here 8 feet away from what clearly looks like a bomb.
Did you go in the bathroom and be like, hey, who left a backpack? And the guy's like, I'm shitting my brains out. And you're like, cool, dude. I'll watch your backpack.
No, like the guy had a very distinctive look and very recognizable shoes. And I went outside to look for this guy because I'm like, look, I'm not going to go out and accuse somebody of being something. But like, if nobody shows up here, if he's gone, I'm going to fucking say something. Like, I don't want to explode because I wanted to see a bad movie. And then fucking I went into the
Good
bathroom,
movie.
the men's room, and I saw what was clearly that guy's shoes, and I was hearing what was going on in there, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, instead it's just his experience is the worst it could possibly be.
Yeah, he's dropping a bomb of a different sort.
No different. I feel like that experience isn't that it could be way worse. You could have diarrhea at a way worse place than an AMC theater.
Yeah, but we waited a little while for a new Star Wars movie to come out, so
yeah. Maybe he was nervous. I poop that much when I'm nervous. I've been pooping nonstop for 3 days.
20 years since the previous Star Wars. So I could understand, but I also I didn't want to tell any of the people I was with because I didn't want anybody freaking out. Plus, if it exploded while I wasn't in there,
you might have been the one who left the bomb.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would have been fine. So, long term.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, all right, we did it.
We did it, and we only made some jokes.
Adam, is anything happening in the world of tennis?
Hey, let's talk about the obligatory tennis news, which was supposed to kick off this episode before the shots started getting fired.
Kickoff. That's a teaser to another story.
Hey, good news. Naomi Osaka has finally decided to start respecting the financial investment I have made in her career. She took 18 months away from tennis to have a child, like a selfish little starlet. And during that time, the price of her cards, like all of Naomi Osaka cards, just bottomed out. So you could get a 1-of-1 autograph for $60. People at home know what I'm talking about. And so I bought a bunch of Naomi Osaka cards at that point.
Did you get a 1-of-1 autograph?
I have a 1-of-1 autograph. Yeah.
What's
I have
1-of-1.
It means it's the only one. It's the only card.
It means that they only made one version of that card and he has it.
Like they printed a bunch of them, or you just have one card and they never copied it?
So they have what's called parallels in sports cards, where there are some that are what they call base, which is here's the regular card. And they're here's the orange refractor. There's only 75 of these that exist in the world. And then it's there's only, and some of them go from there's 299, there's 99, 75, 50. 1-of-1 means you can only get that one card. There are no other cards that are that color.
Interesting. I feel like we ought to I know we have our section for tennis. I think we also should add a section of every week you guys kind of teach me about this card thing. Because I feel like it derails some because I know nothing of it and I have to ask questions.
I mean, we could look
and maybe the humans at home want to know too.
Yeah, we could actually. There's a good one right now. Is a new thing dropped, but we'll talk about Naomi Osaka first.
Yeah, keep going about your love, Naomi Osaka.
Well, she did finally come back. I knew she was going to come back. She showed up at the US Open last year, just as a spectator. And I was oh, she's coming back. And she did. She came back at the beginning of the year and just immediately started losing left and right, early round losses. A very selfish choice, I would argue.
Yeah.
These cards are not going to sell themselves, Naomi Osaka. And so I was, getting really frustrated by all that. But now, good news, Naomi Osaka seems like she's turning it around a little bit. Just made the quarterfinals of the Qatar Open.
You mean the Qatar finals?
Qatar. I prefer Qatar, but people get so in their feelings when you pronounce it that way.
Who pronounced it Qatar?
Quarter Qatar. I was doing a.
Oh, Qatar fine. I get it.
Oh, you're doing a bit. Sometimes they don't. You can't knock them all out of the park.
Oh, we blew it.
Did we? Were we the ones who blew it?
A little bit, actually. Yeah, that was a pretty decent enough wordplay, but to be stuck and stonewalled with the blank faces is, I think, the fault is on the recipients.
Yeah. I think I agree with Jeff for once. Yeah. Granted, she made the quarterfinals on a little bit of a technicality. The player she was supposed to play in the round of 32 was injured and could not play. And when that happens in tennis, you just win. They call it a walkover. So she made it to the quarterfinals that way. Her quarterfinals match, as we record this, is tomorrow morning. Very conveniently, right about the time I wake up. I think 6:30.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Normally, you got to get up you got to take a nap and then wake up around 11 and then watch tennis all night long.
That's the Australian Open. The Qatar Open, different time zone. So
6 a.m.
You know what? You couldn't have picked a better place to start succeeding, Naomi. To start having other people get sick.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if she poisoned her way to the finals.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe not ha funny, but like funny,
kind of
peculiar.
Oh, like funny.
Murdered a bunch of people to win an Open.
I didn't say murder.
Poison.
Oh, like food poisoning. Oh yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, like they tried to do to Michael Jordan. Didn't work.
Give him the runs.
The flu game. Pretty sure that was food poisoning, or he was just hammered and hungover. But either way,
he was betting people to see if he could still play while he had diphtheria.
So Naomi Osaka, if she's going to win the entire Qatar Open, she's going to have to get past world number 1 Iga Swiatek, who, when you see that name, you're not going to see that N sound anywhere in the spelling, but it's there. She inexplicably, her last name is pronounced with an N.
It's like a phantom N.
Yeah, even though it's spelled Swiatek, but that is pronounced Swiatek. And that's a match I want to see. I want to see Naomi Osaka and Iga Swiatek go at it. But
let me ask you a question though. Would she have not won had the other broad not gotten injured? Like, was it like it's obvious that Naomi wouldn't have won, but it was like, oh, it was up in the air and this broad just got injured?
No, she probably still would have won. Like, she was the better player of the two. She just didn't have to play.
She was also the better not having diarrhea player.
Right.
Diarrhea is a nightmare, man.
Where did we come up with diarrhea for this player? I think we're conflating two stories.
The player went to the movies and had diarrhea. Adam, pay attention.
I thought it was Michael Jordan that had diarrhea.
He always has diarrhea. That's why he's such a competitor.
Yeah.
It took me 9 tries to get the word competitor out.
You're doing great.
I'm like Porky Pig trying to get a joke out.
I love him. I haven't thought about Porky Pig in years.
Yeah, because he died in 1983.
Yeah, he's been dead a long time. We ate that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So yeah, she'll have to overcome Iga Swiatek if she wants to win the Qatar Open. She will also have to overcome the guilt that comes with playing sports for money in a country that runs on like sort of slavery. But hey, no one cares about that. All the leftists I know were celebrating Argentina winning the World Cup. It's fine. It's fine.
The world is so fucked up. It's so fucked up. And there's very few things you can do that doesn't somehow fuck up something else. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so fucked up. You can't just have an innocent cheering for football because the whole racism and sexism and all the all the crap that goes into the NFL, all of it. That's just so fucked up. Can't this broad just win an Open and Adam make some money on his baseball cards?
They're tennis cards.
I call them all baseball cards. That's why you guys are going to teach me.
We have to teach you what different sports are?
No, I just thought they were all called baseball cards. Like, I just
only the baseball ones, Kym.
To be honest, though, I've never thought about it until I started talking to you guys about it. I've just in my head have always called them baseball cards. All of them. I've never thought about it though.
Bubblegum cards.
Bubblegum cards. Yeah.
So like, what are you, Charlie Brown?
Tobacco cards.
Yeah, I am.
So yeah, congrats to Naomi Osaka. Hopefully she wins in the quarterfinals and makes it to the semifinals. That would be,
that's 14 hours from now. The first round.
Round of 16 match is tomorrow morning, I do believe.
I think Kym was right. 14 hours from now.
Yeah. Wait.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know why this part is so important, but yeah, morning, the time when you wake up.
No, I just mean is that like the start of her journey to win that Open, the Qatar Open, or is it? And what's a 16 round match? I want to learn about tennis, so I get you more.
Well, she's in the quarterfinals, which implies there have been like other rounds before that. So
the quarterfinals.
She's just no. It's not the start of the tournament. The tournament has been going for.
It's been going. So, but it's tomorrow's the start of the semifinals.
Tennis tournaments typically are 1 week or 2 weeks usually, and it depends on how many players are in the tournament. And this is a 1 week tournament, so the finals will be Sunday.
Well, we are rooting for you, Naomi Osaka.
I'm rooting for everyone to get woke and stop supporting Cutter. So,
yeah,
I just like seeing Adam happy.
Of morals, thank you very much. Give me my moral bowl championship.
I just like seeing Adam happy.
One of my favorite cards I own is a Naomi Osaka card. It's one I'm not going to sell. It's me and Jeff opened a box of Goodwin Champions cards during the Super Bowl. And it is a black and white Goodwin Champions Naomi Osaka card. And it's graded, and the holder it's in is also black and white. She looks like a ghost. I love that card so much. All right.
You just opened it 3 days ago?
Different thing. So next story.
Okay. Yes.
I don't know if anyone knows this, but the Super Bowl happened last weekend.
It did.
It did.
We had some tasty treats, Adam.
Yeah, I made chili. I made some meatball subs. We ate some dip that my wife is obsessed with.
Yeah. I would have met your wife if I went.
I had that dip on a turkey sandwich today, Adam.
It was good.
Delightful.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, we had fun. We Usher's halftime show was shockingly good.
So good. I did not know that could come out of me while that was happening. I did have about 12 shots of tequila before the Super Bowl halftime, but I was dancing and singing, and I had maybe not 12, I'd be dead, but like I had like 3.
I was a little confused at what that coming out of me meant.
Just the dancing and singing and screaming. I love him, and I forgot about that.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people that were complaining, and they were all basically like children. They were like, this was boring. And we were like, you shut your goddamn mouth.
Yeah.
When he came out on the roller skates, I was like, this is amazing. Like,
and then Alicia Keys.
Yeah. Also, I remember me and Jeff had a fun convo where we were like, oh man, Alicia Keys looks great. And it's like, yeah, she's like 10 years younger than us. Of course she looks great. She's just been.
I don't know who she is. She's like 10 years ago. She was like, hey. Alicia Keys. No, I said, I don't think she's 10 years younger than us.
No, she's like 38 or something like that.
Yeah, I think she's around our age. Oh, she looks 10 years younger.
I'm 47, so.
Oh my God. You are?
What the fuck?
I thought we were the same age. Huh.
Adam, you young looking son of a bitch.
I mean, we are relatively the same age. She's 43.
Yeah, I'm closer to age of her than I am to you.
Yeah.
She looks great, and
I'm holding it together like a motherfucker. So
you are
fine.
Yeah, I thought you were 40.
I would like to add as well that the another surprisingly wonderful thing was that the ads were delightful again instead of just being crypto ads.
What about all the Jesus ads?
Ones. Yeah, but they had those.
There's an Israel ad. There was some problematic ads. Israel ad, Jesus ad,
RFK Jr. ad.
Sure, there are. There were, but like on the whole, it wasn't so bad. Like I get it. Like I get like. Yeah, the Israel thing was bad, but that doesn't taint everything.
No, Jeff, I'm sorry. You are canceled.
Yeah, why are you mad right now?
Oh, if you had seen the fucking comments we have to deal with.
Yeah.
Where?
Never mind.
I thought the commercials, there were definitely some good ones. There were some very funny commercials.
Tom Brady, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon, Dunkin' Donuts. I cried. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I love them.
That one was fine.
I love Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I
think I'd take a bullet for Ben Affleck. He is a national treasure. I love him.
In that room, I definitely like Ben Affleck the best. Yeah, the game was 2 hours of boring nonsense, followed by the most thrilling hour of sports I think I've ever watched.
I don't think a good defensive game is particularly boring. Like, it was good defense. It wasn't boring.
It was good
turnovers.
defense.
Like, there were like those turnovers that happened. Like, that's exciting.
Wasn't that the first turnover he has thrown in years in the postseason? Mahomes, didn't he throw his first turnover in like years this game?
He's been pretty great in the postseason, that's for sure.
He's definitely thrown.
I think they said that on the game. They were like, I get really mad at the commentators.
Yeah.
Because they're always against the Broncos.
That very well could. He might not have had an interception in the postseason. Like, it might have just been one of those freak stats.
Yeah, I think that's all they're like, oh, this was the first one in years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. I showed up and I was like kind of rooting for the Chiefs, mostly because I have my stepdad is a Chief fan. And I like seeing that guy happy because he's a nice guy. But then there was a Niner fan at the party I was at, and he was just a really nice guy. But I was like, I want to see you happy today. You seem like, Ian, you're a nice human.
That was a surprise that you were like, there was a Niners fan there. So, it was great.
Well, I didn't.
For the way that game ended,
I mean, yeah, but he was very I mean, by the time the game ended, everybody had done a bunch of shots of tequila and we were.
Yeah. In the comments, 26 box just mentioned that, like, the flea flicker ass show game play that happened. Remember when we were just like, is that a flea flicker?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't.
It was like a double screen pass for a touchdown.
The first touchdown of the game, the Niners scored on a trick play, which was, I think, the only touchdown of the first half.
Yeah, there was only one. Yeah. Oh.
And then, but yeah, the game definitely picked up there at the end. Like, I get it that a defensive battle is fun, but I don't want to see a Super Bowl end on a series of 3 and outs. I'm sorry. Like, that is boring as shit. Like,
it's better than a blowout.
It's better than a blowout.
One of us has been through a blowout, and that day was really tough for me.
Oh, Jeff's been through a blowout in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which one? The one where you got?
I was 5.
Yeah, I was 8.
Oh.
85.
No, I was 4, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah.
I was 32, and I got in a lot of fights at the bar that night.
Oh, you were
night,
yeah.
You were 32 when the Bears beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
No, when the Broncos had their blowout in the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yes, in 84, I was 32, so that means I am 61.
That was good.
Don't do the math. I don't know if it's true.
Oh, great math.
Yeah, that seems really quick. Yeah, the game went to overtime. That part was cool. Love an overtime Super Bowl. You don't see that often.
With the weird rules.
I am convinced the 49ers did not know the overtime rules changed. There was
because they changed last year for the Super Bowl. They changed it to.
They changed them because the Bills felt like that's why they lost in the playoffs. Like, we've touched on this a little bit on the show already, because when the Bills defense gave up a field goal to the Chiefs with like 11 seconds left because they were too busy already celebrating having won the game, the Chiefs got the ball first in overtime and scored, and that ended the game. Back then, the rule was if you score on that first possession, the game's over. And the Bills were like, we would have gone to the Super Bowl without that. No, you wouldn't. They changed the rules the next year, and the Bills still are not in the Super Bowl. But there's like no good reason to take the ball first if you win the toss in overtime.
No.
And there were at least 2 49ers players who in their post-game press conferences were like, I didn't even know the overtime rules changed. And Kyle Shanahan swears he did know the rules changed, but
yeah, did he say why he took the ball?
His
in the toss?
And this makes no sense to me, was Well, if we scored a touchdown and then the Chiefs scored a touchdown, then when we get the ball again, if we score, then it is sudden death and then the game is over. And it's like, man, that is a defeatist attitude. How about you
and
just
that is also
go into it
statistically
thinking like we are going to stop them.
I would have made a bad football coach, because I also am like, yeah, that is a sound reasoning as to why to do it. So like maybe,
but statistically kind of a long shot.
Yeah, you're like
scoring in anything.
Well, they're playing for like
the NFL, like
why concede that? Oh, well, the Chiefs are gonna score, like, because that's kind of what his thinking was. And yeah, they did, but like, at least then you would have known, well, we have, all right, the Chiefs scored, so now we have to score a touchdown and go for 2 points to win this game, or at least tie it. And well, no, you wouldn't want to tie it because then it would be sudden death all over again. But
you'd get your ball back with that sudden death, right?
Yeah. Well, not if you.
And you would have the possession. Yeah.
Yeah, you would get the ball back he would get the possession back if they both scored.
Yeah, like if they both scored,
then it would go to sudden death, right?
Possession of the ball in sudden death. Yeah. So
essentially, how the new rules work? Each team gets the ball. If they get a chance to score,
you have to match.
And then and then when they get the ball, then so they say they both score, and then the next round is a sudden death, the way it used to be.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So, yeah, like I don't know. I would have just gone for it. And the fact that Andy Reid was like, yeah, we talked about the overtime rules like all week. Like, it was one of the big things we talked about in like every meeting. And meanwhile, the Niners are like, oh, what? We didn't know. We didn't even know. Like, that's insane.
Overtime in the Super Bowl? Grow up.
What did they talk about all week?
Yeah. And who the fuck got attacked by a coyote? We never found out.
What?
Oh, yeah.
It was actually Kristen Zizek.
So, yeah, the game was ultimately kind of decided on a missed block because the Niners on that last play had two people, like even Deebo Samuel, Deebo Samuel was hurt, right? It was Jennings, I think. Yeah. Like Brock Purdy rushed that pass and didn't connect because Chris Jones was running at his face. But that guy was open. And if you watch the replay, there was a receiver wide open in the back of the end zone. So if the Niners make that block, they probably would have won the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy played fucking great. He was great.
Like a crisp pair of khaki pants. He was reliable. He was nice.
He was more than reliable. Like, he was really fucking good. He again, if they make that block, there's a very good chance he beats Patrick Mahomes
with a short length of hose in the locker room.
In overtime, no less.
Yeah.
Crazy. But that missed block turned into like a back and forth argument between the 49ers offensive linemen on Twitter because one of them got like, he said he woke up hungover and feeling like a bitch. So he because people were blaming one particular lineman for missing this block, and another lineman for the 49ers, I would tell you his name, but again, no one pays attention to offensive linemen. He jumped in and was
anybody's name.
He jumped in and was like, no, you have it wrong. I actually know whose responsibility it was. And he sort of called out the lineman who should have made that block. And then that guy jumped in and was like, wow, thanks for throwing me under the bus, bro. Feels great. And the guy was like, sorry, man. I was just hungover and being a bitch. You got a lot of good years ahead of you. All that.
Yikes.
Are those teammates?
But boy, is this one of those scenarios where it's a reminder of like, hey, y'all forget how fucking important the offensive line is. Like, people do not care, but man, is that so aggressively important.
Yep.
And also text. You don't have to put everything on Twitter. You don't have to fight with everybody on Twitter. Like, what?
He was hungover and feeling like a bitch.
Yeah, I'm hungover feeling like a bitch all the time. And I'm not tweeting at you two.
Yeah,
I do it privately.
You
do? That would be really just like today. I thought I was done with the show. I thought you guys just sent me a fake link. You muted me on everything. Just
I
like
hope you talk to somebody about these fears, Kym. I genuinely hope you're like, so I'm pretty sure that the guys who we do a regular show all the time sent me a fake link.
Oh yeah, I talked to someone about all of my paranoia.
Why did we fire you? Because the Listcast thing? We had to cancel Listcast? Is that why you were fired?
And I haven't been here for 2 weeks. And I might not be here next week.
Oh, you're fired.
I'm not even going to be here next week. So
it's just going to be Jeff alone, crawl space in it.
Do this.
Jeff doing a solo pod next week.
I'll bring people on. I'll bring Dre Alvarez and Logan Trent on.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
If we can get her,
I think we can.
I'll put the feelers out.
If you ever want to make my birthday happy, you could break this one off the rails. I feel like I did it.
Okay, a couple things. One, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Two, I don't know if we
to make me happy
on your birthday. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
Next story. Let's move on. Kristen Juszczyk's husband, Kyle, he might be a failure, but
loser.
Yeah, absolute fucking loser of a person.
Doofus.
But she had a winning month.
Kristen had a phenomenal year.
Well, I mean, it all happened like in the past 30 days, basically. If this Instagram post is to be believed, let me at least credit them. I know that's a weird thing to do on the internet. Front Office Sports on Instagram. If their post is to be believed, these things all happened for Kristen Juszczyk in the past month. She created a custom jacket for Taylor Swift.
Yep.
She signed a licensing deal with the NFL, surpassed 1 million followers on Instagram, appeared on the Today Show, signed endorsement deals with Invisalign to fix those teeth, and Gatorade so she can stay hydrated. And she raised $75,000 for breast cancer research. That's all in the past month. I'd be like,
for her.
I'm taking the year off. I'm done.
I got to be honest. Somebody in that family needs a W.
Yeah. She really has, overcome being tethered, I would argue, to a 2-time Super Bowl loser in Kyle Juszczyk. One of the players who in the post-game press conference was like, overtime rules. What? There's no rules in overtime. It's anarchy. No, there's rules. There's definitely rules.
I actually want to add that this guy's a good wife guy.
Like he's good to his wife?
He's a good wife guy.
Yeah, he loves his wife.
He posts about his wife all the time.
Oh,
he's like the Rob Zombie of football players.
Yeah.
Does Rob Zombie like his wife a lot?
He puts her in everything, even though she has a very limited talent scope.
Yeah. She's
nothing of Rob Zombie's wife.
She's no Kristen Juszczyk, that's for sure.
Go watch a Rob Zombie movie and you'll be like, why did this person make it into this movie? And your answer is, that's his wife.
Oh, aren't those movies pretty gory though? Like for no reason? I like the gore, don't get me wrong, but not just for no reason.
I was going to say, are you asking for an explanation of a genre of film?
Yeah.
No.
I'm like, yeah, it's schlock horror.
Yeah.
But he put her in the Munsters.
Oh.
I don't think I didn't watch the Munsters.
I think I did a long time ago, but I don't remember.
Yeah, the movie that came out over the pandemic, and it's
made
bad.
Munsters. He made it for her. So Oliver in the comments said.
Oliver Allen is saying it in the comments that he made it for
love
her.
Oliver
Either
Allen.
way, it happened.
I mean, good for this broad, though.
Yeah, no, she's great. It seems first off, she's incredibly talented. That is the thing that like people are like, oh, this is like a nepotism thing. It's like I couldn't make that jacket, that one she made for Taylor Swift. Like those jackets, incredible.
Yeah, Taylor Swift isn't going to wear that jacket because this woman's married to fucking Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, like it's like a sweater your grandmother knitted for you.
Yeah.
It's like, no, these things fucking rip.
Yeah, they're cool as shit.
Like I want to get famous enough to where this woman reaches out to me and is like, "Can I make you a Broncos jacket?" And I would be like, "Yes, Janet." I don't remember her name. It's written down. Let me look.
It's Janet.
Is it Janet?
Definitely. Yeah, you nailed it. It's Janet.
I didn't.
You're nasty.
Yeah.
Kristen, same thing.
That's the Janet of K names. Yeah.
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 Sure is.
They're next to each other, so.
Yeah. Anyway, he seems like a wife guy. She seems like a cool lady. Yeah. I got no problem with them.
She's very talented. Congrats to her having a really good year. Speaking of people having really good years, the NFL Hall of Fame inductees for this year were announced. And Devin Hester, baby, made it to the Hall of Fame on his second try. He was eligible last year too. But Devin Hester is he's the best kick returner in NFL history from a number of touchdowns scored and just like skill perspective. I will link to this video in the show notes. The Chicago Bears put out a 9-minute compilation video of every one of his kick returns as a Chicago Bear. And it is both an awe-inspiring document of absolute football greatness and a harrowing reminder that the Bears have not been shit for like 20 years now.
And the last time the Bears made me smile.
Yeah, this Devin Hester is the last good decision the Bears have made so far. And his rookie year was 2005.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Get it?
The Bears.
Hey,
the Bears.
Bears.
Yeah.
I invented that.
I don't get it. Is it like duh, like dumb?
The Bears.
I know it's the Bears. And then you're I don't get the joke.
That's comedy.
I don't get comedy, so.
Yeah, comedy's dumb. Yeah, Devin Hester.
I know I don't get it. I'd like you to share it with me. I'm not mad. I'm not making fun of you.
You don't know the SNL skit?
I thought you guys just called yourselves the Bears.
Well, it's a very famous. It's like one of the most famous SNL sketches of all time.
Yeah,
I wasn't allowed to watch SNL until I don't know 15 years ago.
I've seen
That's not true. I'm 40, but
I'm like, what?
But I mean, I wasn't allowed to watch it throughout my life, which is an odd thing. But yeah, so I don't know any of the early on stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, Devin Hester.
Yeah, good for him. Watch the video. First off, there's one where he catches a short field goal, looks downfield, sees the entire field the way it's supposed to be, and just maps out a brutal run. That like just cut through.
That is one of the. You didn't watch the video? I asked everyone to watch the video.
She was buying a car, Adam.
I bought a car, Adam. It's been a long day.
Okay. Yeah.
I love you. No, I watched part of the video, but I'm gonna level with you. If it was John Elway, I would probably watch and cry 9 minutes of it. But
if it was John Elway returning
kick returns,
if it was John Elway returning that many kicks, that video would be 45 minutes long. John Elway couldn't fucking run.
Just saying, I would have watched, but I watched part of the video.
Yeah, the return Jeff is talking about, it was a Monday night game, I believe, Monday night or Sunday night game against the New York Giants. And yeah, they tried like a 50-some yard field goal, and Devin Hester catches it and then just like sort of starts walking like he's going to down it and then just fucking takes off. And at the time, it was the longest touchdown score in NFL history.
It was like 106 yards or something like that.
Yeah, but I think it's actually been surpassed since then by like a yard or two. But yeah, this video, it made me tear up a little bit. It's like Devin Hester was, I've just never seen anything like that.
It's
and like
such a specialty to do. It's like such a unique thing to be. Like most like many kick returners are like two-way players, or they play another position or whatever, and they happen to do this. This is just like an unbelievable skill.
Can I ask too, though? Like, so he was supposed to be inducted last year, and then he didn't, and then this year he made it in. Why in the Hall of Fame? You said
you get nominated, and then people vote on whether you get in, and you don't always get in when you're nominated. Like like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame works the same way. Like Oasis has been nominated, but I don't know if they're going to get in.
The woke mob came after him last year, so
yeah,
he got delayed.
I did not know that.
And so, yeah, Devin Hester is in the Football Hall of Fame. I'm very excited.
Congratulations.
Good job, Dev.
Yeah, that season. And that's the other thing about that video. Most of those kick returns are from one season.
The 2005?
Yeah. Like that was the thing. That's why the Bears went to the Super Bowl that season, because our offense was sketchy because of Rex Grossman at quarterback. But if we went 3 and out and had to punt, I mean, that was, bad. But if you go 3 and out, you're going to have to punt to Devin Hester. So we almost like didn't need
the Bears had a killer defense at that point in time too. Like let's not pretend that their defense, I mean, second only to like the Ravens as far as like dominant defenses in the NFL at the time.
I think we might have been the best defense in the NFL that season.
Because you had Urlacher was like at his peak at that time, right?
Yeah. Oh, a pre-MAGA Urlacher. Oof. That was
he's MAGA now?
Yes, both. And yeah,
they're rich. They're rich white men.
Yeah. Like if you watch this video, there are a couple instances where he's returning like multiple kicks per game. Like, and you even hear one of the announcers is like, because one of them is the Broncos. And one of the announcers is like, is Mike Shanahan's memory that short? Like, why would you kick the ball to him again? Like Devin Hester kind of was our offense that season. And it was great. It was so fucking great. It was such a fun thing to watch. He returned the opening kickoff in the Super Bowl for a touchdown. It's never been done by anyone else.
Did you guys win that Super Bowl?
No.
Come on.
No, we had sexy Rexy Grossman at quarterback. Of course we didn't win. But it was fun.
But now you have someone in the Hall of Fame. And you have his jersey.
I mean, we have 2 Bears players went into the Hall of Fame. And did Steve McMichael go in also? Maybe.
That was the WWE Hall of Fame.
There might have been
the 4 horsemen.
But
remember when Steve Mongo McMichael was a wrestler for like kind of a long time in the 90s?
No.
Was that the same Steve McMichael?
Yeah. Yeah, Mongo McMichael. Yeah, he was a member of the 4 Horsemen. He was like like teamed up with like Ric Flair and shit.
Oh,
yeah,
yep.
Yeah.
Michael got in also. Also Julius Peppers, who I don't know if he's going in as a Chicago Bear, but Julius Peppers is in. It's a good Hall of Fame class, and Devin Hester deserves it. He was the best. So before the Super Bowl even happened, there was some pretty big Patrick Mahomes news that we did not get to. Patrick Mahomes, on top of just being like the best football player right now, it's not enough that he's doing that, but he's doing it with kind of a dad bod.
He has a total dad bod.
Hell yeah.
And I love that so much. This picture circulated of him in the locker room after, I think, the AFC Championship. And that fella has a Coors Light gut on him. He's got some prom arms. Like, he is not ripped.
He's got little boobs. He's got boobs.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Because it is one of those things where, like, fitness and muscle are not necessarily the same thing. This is actually a thing like boxers. I've been having people conversations like, I don't bench press. I haven't bench pressed in over 20 years. because there's no sense in doing it. You're adding unnecessary muscle that restricts your flexibility and adds weight, but out no power, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there. It's like, well, yeah, just like that's not what you need to perform this sport. And it's so funny because Mahomes is just going through it looking like a bag of flour, and he is nailing that shit. It is a delight. He is phenomenal.
Well, there's a whole not movement, but like where they talk about the people that look really, really in shape, but are like absolutely not in shape at all. Like the people who work on, like you said, like work on certain things, but can't run a mile. Like there's a whole thing, like the aesthetic is more important to people now than it is actually being in shape and healthy.
Which is why they call CrossFit now, they call it functional fitness. Yeah. Like that's what they refer to that to, because it's like it's about doing tasks and getting them done. Like the stuff that they do is designed to simulate tasks instead of just lifting weights so you can build your body and muscles. Like it's actually designed to build strength and, you know, flexibility and endurance and stuff like that.
Oh. Just imagine being someone like Jalen Hurts, who is doing leg day 8 days a week so he can do the brotherly shove better than anyone else in sports. And meanwhile, the most dominant player in football is just all doughy and shit.
Yeah.
He's got to be
address it at all?
Arms like a pack of Twizzlers. I love it.
He did address
Mahomes
it.
What did he say? Was he like, come at me, I won the Super Bowl?
I love that about Mahomes. Like, he was very good natured about it. He was like,
yeah, man, I know.
He tagged the NFL and was like, oh, come on, I got kids who are going to see this. And it was just like,
I love it. I'm not supposed to, but I do.
I also saw a clip of him in a post-game press conference, I think after the Super Bowl, and someone trying to be internet funny was like, hey, can you do your best Kermit the Frog impression? And he just goes, I'm already doing it by talking, and then moves on to the next.
Oh,
that's pretty great.
He's a good kid.
It seems to me like, I wonder if he hired like a PR coach to like teach him how to deal with that. Like, now you're going to be at this level. People are going to say this. Here's how you need to treat it. Here's how you need to react so that you don't end up being in the newspapers for blowing up on people.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, not that he would. But it does seem like he's so gosh darned affable that like you're just sitting there like, if this is natural, he should host SNL once a year.
Yeah. And I think the only people that openly dislike him are people in the AFC West.
The Raider fans.
Or Bronco. They don't like every Bronco fan I know hates him. But I love him, and I secretly love him because they get mad. Hey, before we go to the next one, can I just say thank you to Oliver and Dre for congratulating me on my car and tell them I'm going to talk about it on Crawl Space later today. Okay. That's all I wanted to say.
Could have thanked us. We also did that.
Can we rewind that back and
just edit that out?
No,
someone
there's no one
there
else with me. Okay. This next story, more Patrick Mahomes. He has kind of transcended is he the best quarterback debate. I mean, there's still a debate with him and Tom Brady, obviously, and
Peyton Manning and John Elway. So
I would throw. Did you say Joe Montana? Because yes, I would throw that third name.
And John Elway, back-to-back Super Bowls. I'm leaving. I will fire myself today.
Joe Montana won 4. So
John Elway went to.
John Elway, I'll say this: John Elway had the best arm of any quarterback.
Yeah, he had a cannon for an arm. He had some great teeth.
I'm just saying he gets to be. Those two get to be in the conversation. They're not going to win the conversation, but they're going to. They get to be in the conversation, though. We all agree they get to be in the conversation.
I would actually not put them in the conversation, but that's fine.
No, I wouldn't. Absolutely not. But that's okay.
I will murder one of you in the next 48 hours.
I'm okay with that too.
Well, now that you have a car,
because first off, the debate is really up against like, is it Brady, is it Montana, or is it Mahomes? And it's really a tri-generational debate. It's like which era is the one that produced the best quarterback. That's all it is. And Manning can't hold the official candle to Brady. Elway can't hold the official.
You understand? I know this. You don't have to break it down. It's mean.
No, it does. I do want to break it down because I want to break you down.
Right. Sure. But Patrick Mahomes did a thing.
You're the one.
Winning the Super Bowl this past Sunday that no NFL player has ever done. He became the 7th athlete in general to win 3 championships and 2 MVP awards in his first 7 seasons, joining Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Guy Lafleur, Stan Musial, who sent me an autograph postcard when I was a kid, Mickey Mantle, who I followed through a hospital to get autographs from when I was a kid, Joe DiMaggio, who I got an autograph from at a baseball card show when I was a kid. Those are the only 6 athletes besides Patrick Mahomes to win 3 championships and 2 MVPs in their first 7 seasons.
You know what's fascinating is you look at it and like 2 Celtics. Who did it for? Was it the Flames? No, I'm thinking of Teo Fleury. Who did Guy Lafleur play for the most part? Was it Montreal? Then you got Musial, who's a Cardinal, and then Mantle and DiMaggio that are Yankees. So like there's 7 people, but only 5 teams are repped. I think that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 2 of them are the teams with the most championships. The Celtics or do the Lakers have the record for most championships?
I think the Celtics, I think it's very close, but I think the Lakers might have taken over.
What's the number?
I don't know how we would ever find out.
Yeah, it's not like
I think we all have the internet.
I mean, Bill Russell's rings are pretty dumb.
All of his hands?
To be fair, like
they are tied 17 each.
Oh shit.
I mean,
that's a lot.
I was gonna say, ooh, that makes me nervous, but then I'm like, well, if one of those teams is gonna win this year, it's gonna be the Celtics.
Not the Denver, not the Broncos basketball team. They're not doing well.
The Lakers aren't winning a chip. The Nuggets are doing great.
Broncos basketball. Yeah.
You know who I want to win the NBA championship this year?
Kyrie
Minnesota
Irving.
Timberwolves.
Really?
Because Anthony Edwards is the shit. He is so fucking fun to watch. Yeah, the guy from Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah, Anthony Edwards is so much goddamn fun to watch. Kevin Garnett just compared him to young Michael Jordan on a podcast. And
that's just Kevin Garnett talking shit on Michael Jordan.
People do not say that all the time. People get offended when you compare people to Michael Jordan. But Anthony Edwards, he's special. He's special. And his rookie cards are still very cheap. So just a tip, everybody.
Buying chips. Your tip? You got any chips?
Yeah. What's very cheap still?
Well, you can still get like a PSA 10 graded Anthony Edwards rookie card for anywhere from like $20 to $50 if you're like not going for the super expensive ones.
Interesting. What's PS10?
PSA.
PSA 10?
Authenticators. They're a great
cards. Yeah.
So I'm
learning.
You're learning, baby.
You're learning. So yeah. Good
Dre
job.
in the comments says he's like a young Dwayne Wade, which I am very much here for.
Yeah. Anthony Edwards is great. Also Tyrese Halliburton, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There's a lot of really
Halliburton's going to be bombing from downtown, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Halliburton's got all that oil money, you know?
I'm going to learn more about basketball this year.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, football's dead.
Yep.
Baseball is still sleeping. So it is time to college basketball, everybody.
Aren't you and I going to do some college women basketball fantasy? Didn't we text about that a few weeks ago, or is it too late?
No, I think we all love a college women's basketball.
College women's basketball. What are we talking about?
That was great. You're both hilarious. I know. I feel like I've shut down all your jokes so far. So
I want to do a WNBA fantasy league. I think it would be really fun to put the listeners through that, like maybe do prizes and things.
Ooh, okay. The 3 of us, or do the listeners get to play too? I don't understand fantasy.
The listeners also. But
okay.
That's the
do
WNBA.
We get to win a prize too if we win? Sorry.
Nope.
I have follow-up questions.
The WNBA season doesn't start till May, so it doesn't matter. We'll talk about that later. But
Okay.
Until Jeff May.
it's gonna be May. But
Don't you hate that?
March Madness coming up next month, NCAA tournament. This is the first year I'm genuinely more excited about the women's tournament than the men's tournament.
Do you think we could do a bracket together? Can I tell you, like I've always wanted, when I was a kid, my whole family got together, like half of them got together for dinner, and I wasn't the youngest. The youngest were there, and all of them went, "Are we ready? Are we ready?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're ready." And I was like, "Ready for what?" And they basically were like, "Just sit there and look pretty, Kym. You don't understand stuff." And they all pulled out brackets, and they wouldn't let me play, and they never let me play. And now I would like to play. It was mean, and I would like to win and show.
I mean,
them.
if they had a buy-in, they should have let you play primarily so they could take your money.
Yeah.
I was like 15, so.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was a buy-in. I think they just did it for fun and they didn't think I understood stuff. So it was mean and I would like revenge. Most of them are dead, so I don't know who the revenge would be against, but I would like to play. So can we do a bracket?
It sounds like you got your revenge.
Oh yeah, I won for sure.
Yeah.
They don't have a podcast.
I quit doing March Madness brackets a few years ago because I feel like it makes the game like less enjoyable to watch. Cause like, I don't want to have to care who wins. I just want a good game. But I think now that we're doing this, I might do them again and maybe we'll make it also a listener involved thing. We'll do.
Can we be involved too?
Yes. Yes.
And I can wear high heels sometimes.
What are you talking about?
Adam, you absolutely should not let her do it. Like you and me should, and all the listeners, but we shouldn't allow them to do it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I will set your house on fire.
Your ass at the kids' table.
Are we still?
I wasn't at the kids' table. The kids still got to do it. I was the only kid. They all were like, "You're too dumb to understand what we're doing," and I was like, "I'm not," but it's fair.
To be fair, if they knew that you called all sports cards baseball cards, they might have been like, "Yeah, I feel like."
And I called most of the Bronco teams: Broncos baseball, Broncos hockey, Broncos basketball. It's because I'm funny and I'm smart. So
yeah, we're gonna do some college basketball stuff over the next.
We're gonna do brackets
month or so. Either that, or this show's just gonna be tennis news until like the World Series. But
can we do brackets then? Because
yes, we're gonna do brackets.
That's what that is. Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, I don't know how bad I want to talk about tennis for 1 full hour, but 20 minutes of it, yes, I love tennis.
Tennis is very fun. It's your loss if you're not watching tennis.
I just love watching how happy you are. That's my favorite part about tennis.
That's my least favorite thing.
Yeah, that's my least favorite thing about tennis. Making me happy. Stop it. You think you are tennis. All right. I think that's our episode, right? Do we have any final?
We go. One more thing that I did want to say, and this is just because Kym brought it up, but you and I have been texting about it. Topps 2024 baseball cards season series 1 just dropped this morning. Is that right?
Yeah.
New bases ball cards are out. It's a big deal. The retro looks are 1989 Topps, which is the first baseball cards I ever bought with my own money, which is very exciting.
Woo.
I don't know. I liked it. Adam, did you get any yet?
No, it's probably going to be a bit for me. I've kind of cooled off on buying boxes, but I'll get some. I'll get some Topps series 1s.
Well, F you then.
No, I haven't gotten any yet. Did you? What'd you get? Did you get anything cool?
2 blasters.
Very nice.
I pulled the numbered McGuire 89, 1989 version. It's like the black version. It's pretty cool. It's numbered out of
like McGuire in like blackface.
Yeah, absolutely. He's trying to hit like Sammy Sosa, and that's why Sammy Sosa went in whiteface.
Yeah, he drained it from Sammy Sosa.
Yeah. But no, it was like the cards look weird. They look like, do you remember deli chips? Remember that brand of potato chips that were like deli? It was like a dark purple with an orange neon label. Like that's the energy of the card design. They're like black with like a kind of like a neon energy to them. They are great for now, but people are going to look back and be like, this was a weird design.
Yeah. I'm always leery of black border stuff. It
Yep.
gets damaged too easy. So, anything else? Kym, you got any final thoughts?
I don't love all of the anti-John Elway comments in the comments. I understand.
Because fuck John Elway.
I think those were all from Dre Alvarez, who's from
No.
Colorado.
So Ryan started it. Ryan Malay, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, I'm sorry, said John Elway's greatest football accomplishment was handing the trophy to the Chiefs on Sunday. That's a good burn, Ryan. That's a mean thing to say. I will say when I saw him, I fell to my knees and almost started crying, and everybody I was with is like, what's happening? I'm like, you have to understand John Elway, when you grow up in Denver, I am hardwired to, like, he's our god. Like, that guy did hookers and blow my entire life, and the whole city of Denver was like, it's fine. I love him. Like,
Ray Alvarez says who was the Super Bowl MVP in Elway's first win? Who was it? Was it Terrell Davis? I wonder if it was
probably.
Terrell Davis.
Let's Google that, huh?
That Broncos team, Mike Shanahan.
He is right about that, by the way. Yeah.
I could have played running back in Mike Shanahan's offense and ran for 1,000 yards.
Yeah, that was a miraculously well put together. It was also a part where like there were a lot of other teams that were normally good that were like really not great that season, right? Like,
yeah,
don't do this. Don't do this.
Like, it was dominant. They were dominant. They were like the good team in the NFL.
And those Broncos running backs, man, they would get to other teams and it'd be like, oh, Mike Shanahan's not here. It's a different vibe. Like Clinton Portis.
The first year it was Terrell Davis, and the next year it was Elway.
That was which one was the one they played the Packers, right?
Yeah, the first one, Terrell Davis.
And the Packers had like no defense.
It was a magical time. But also John Elway was the leader of that team. So like we can also say John Elway was a part of the magic.
Yeah, he's a part. The quarterback was a part of the magic, yes.
The huge part of the magic. Sorry.
The Packers were massively favored in that Super Bowl where the Broncos beat them.
My Aunt Amy made me wrap around this Bronco blanket on my body the entire game because I put it on because I was a little cold, and then they scored. And then every time I tried to get up to get anything, she was like, "You get that goddamn blanket back on you." So we think that that's why we won that game.
That is why they won. Yeah.
One of the biggest regrets of my life, when the Packers and Broncos played in that Super Bowl, I was living in Wisconsin, and I had a coworker named Fred who had very long, like 80s rocker hair. And he was a huge Packers fan. And he was like, if Packers lose this Super Bowl, I'll shave my head. Anyone want to make that bet? And I was this close because I was wearing my hair super short at the time anyway. I would have fucking shaved my head with no hesitation. And I didn't do it. And the Packers lost. I wish I could have made that motherfucker shave his head at work.
I bet
was he a dick?
No, he was cool.
Oh, okay. It'd be fun to watch that.
I bet one of my students that he couldn't do all of his homework and all of his classes, but if he did, they could shave my head. But if he didn't, I got to shave his because he had like a big floppy mop of hair. And he won, and I was very happy he won. But then he like shaved his head right before anyway, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, you should have all that hair.
Did he shave your head?
Yep. Yeah. It was in the newspaper.
All right. Now I think
that brought up way more questions than answered.
Now that we've talked about the late 90s Broncos, I think we
you said if I had anything else to add, and I did.
Well, and yeah, and now we can get out of here.
That's fair point.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you everybody who watched. Please follow the show on Instagram at You Don't Show, and like and subscribe and do all the stuff. Maybe enable some notifications. I forgot to tell people this was happening until like
smash that notifications bell
30 minutes before we started recording. So in the future, I might just forget altogether. And then how will you know if you don't have those notifications enabled?
How will you know when we are podcasting? How will I? Are we not Whitney? I thought we were all Whitney Houston. Ning.
No, we're not.
No.
All right, real quick,
buddy. It's great.
What else? What else do we got?
Well, if you guys want to follow me on my YouTube, it's right here. It's also my social media. Wrong one. Wrong. There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, I
Follow
do the
us
mirror
right
because I don't
there.
like what my face looks like mirrored.
Perfect. That's a great thing. You can follow us on there on social media, as well as my YouTube is at Hey There Jeffro as well. And I also do like pack breaks and stuff like that. So it's really fun.
So thanks. And thank you to everyone who watched.
We love you.
We love you. Thank you. It's always fun. I love you too a lot.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, Kym.
Hey, we love you.
I might be. What if I'm in an airport in Phoenix? Can I just have my earbuds?
I mean, that's how ESPN works. Sometimes those people are in cars, you know.
And I'll let you know where I'm at.
To ESPN. So.
And Phoenix is the car of America. So.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.